I found it. The problem is, he couldn't give me an exact location, but it's somewhere in East Edge.
Great work, and it all ties together. I found out that Hyano Industries have been importing special digging equipment and supplies for a huge underground construction project. They've been working on it for 5 years now, and they keep stepping up the workforce. They've been buying up exotic materials, usually only used for space flights.
It fits. I've been checking around, and I found a lot of underground activity near the East Edge main power line. They must be tapping into it for their project.
Of course. They'd need a tremendous amount of power for such a huge operation. They must be running machinery 24 hours a day. They'd have to have power on a continuous basis with backup generators ready for emergencies.
That's got to be it!
Good old Figaro. I figured he could find it. Problem is, that power supply could be tapped at any location for hundreds of miles.
I figured we were onto something, so I went ahead and loaded the computer with a holographic schematic of the city. Take a look. There's 200 miles of subways and 400 miles of power cables weaving through the underground maze of the city.
Whoa. I never knew how much was going on under there before.
This map includes the surrounding areas close enough to be used.
How would they launch it?
Exactly, and that's what I was getting to. They'd either have to move it, which we can pretty much rule out, or it's going to be launched straight up through the ground.
Correct!
This narrows down the potential sites by at least 33%. That means we can disregard the areas in the downtown section containing the largest concentration of high-rise buildings. We've got to start searching areas that have little or no structures above them.
Yeah, but what if they don't care what's above them and how many people they're going to wipe out when they launch?
I'm sure they don't, but that kind of a takeoff could damage the ship.
Isolate the subway systems.
Yes! The subways!
Right, coming up. There are 20 main stations and 100 substations in the local area.
Hey, I missed something here. Why are we looking at the subways?
They'd have to use the subway system to carry people and supplies to the construction site. It's the only way they could work on something this big and still keep it a secret. If this thing is buried somewhere underneath the city, I believe the subway tunnels will lead us to it.
Yeah, now I get it. That makes sense. The Rat's Own Railroad.
Well put, but we've got to find a way to figure out exactly which rails those rats are using.
We've had fugitives disappear down there for good.
Wait a minute! Look at the section marked D5. It looks like all of the routes converge on it at a certain point.
Yeah, D5. That area used to be the central docking point for all the trains. There was a large plant there that supplied equipment and dealt with routine maintenance. But the plant was torn down. It was never reopened because the trains were all fitted with new state-of-the-art modular replaceable equipment and maintained by one central remote control computer that monitored all other systems.
I remember reading about it. The computers were made by Hyano Industries.
Yes, I remember that too. The technology was very interesting to me.
What do you mean?
The technology Hyano was using for its new computer system was a practical application of one of the systems my team was working on in our government lab. Hyano was using remote control devices that, when used to full capacity, could help maintain and even man ships into outer space. I had forgotten all about it until now.
So, now they've got an underground area that everyone's written off as dead and buried. No one's going to even think about poking around down there. It looks to me like they must be using Area D5 to coordinate all of their supplies. I mean, it's perfect, because the main power lines were all routed to converge there. They've got a steady supply of power for construction and access to all of the subway lines.
But as you can see, there's no access to Area D5 now.
Yeah. But what's your point?
We may not be digging deep enough. I'll bet the construction's going on right under Area D5.
It might be so.
I didn't know that.
It's not an unusual thing.
Now you're talking. I say we go there right now and bomb the shit out of Area D5 so the ship and the guys responsible for this are buried underground forever.
We can't chance it. We have no way of knowing if the ship's rigged to explode if it's damaged.
Not only might the ship be rigged to explode, but it could be rigged to set off explosions all over the city, or all over the country. Who knows how far they'll go to protect this thing?
Oh, yeah.
They're right. It would be much too dangerous to try and destroy it. It's bound to be booby-trapped. No, we have to find some way to get into that ship and disable it. And we've got to do it in some way that doesn't jeopardize the lives of innocent citizens.
Wait a minute! I've got it! We can disable the anti-proton core! It'll take them weeks to get it back up and running!
Great. Let's go sabotage them.
Okay, I'll pull together the equipment necessary at my end. The rest of you get what you need. Okay, now, which one of you is going to go? Acarno, I think you should go.
All right, don't worry. I'll take care of them, Doc.
Be careful, it's going to be dangerous down there. But you're in luck. I've got something to help locate the anti-proton core. It's a little invention of mine. I call it Snooper, Robot Bloodhound. Perfect for this job.
Snooper, huh?
Hello, Snooper! I like the name. But does that thing really work?
All I have to do is program them to find antiprotons, and you're in business.
Hmm.